What up, y'all? It's Fernando back here with another WWE Raw review and recap video. Today we'll be going over the March 23rd episode. Let's get into it. To start the show, we have Paul Heyman come out here and basically make excuses for what happened last week to Brock Lesnar, saying he was distracted. He had to go through 15 masked men, and that's why Obo was able to hit him with the fall from grace. So, as they're out in the ring, the promo comes to an end, and Paul Heyman goes through his spiel saying that blah, 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 blah. Brock Lesnar. And then finally, Obafemi comes out, and he comes to the ring. Brock Lesnar kicks him, attempts to go for an F5, and then Oba gets off of him and clotheslines him out the ring. Viciously, might I add. It looked good. So, what I got from this was it built more hype to the Mania match. It made Oba look like $1,000,000. Brock Lesnar sold his ass off for him. This closing out the ring, he clotheslined him out of the ring, and Brock Lesnar just flew over. Did a full front flip, hit outside the ring real hard, and then was against the barricade and was looking up at Oba like, oh my gosh. This was incredible. It made Oba look like a superstar, and it made Brock Lesnar even look like an underdog. So this segment was all around, did what it needed to do. Really enjoyed it. Good segment to start the show. The next match we had on the card was the Usos versus the Vision. This match was very short. It didn't even come to a full completion. It started with Austin Theory ripping off the turnbuckle, distracting the ref, Logan Paul grabbing the brass knucks from his pants, and then LA Knight's music hits. He comes out from behind, gets the brass knuckles from Logan, throws them into Jay, and Jay ends up using them right in front of the ref on Austin Theory, getting a disqualification. Now, I really thought the ending of this match was good. I liked that it ended in a no disqualification. For one thing, it made the character of Jey Uso crashing out look better, and that he has lost complete control of himself, and that he's all up in his own head. And two, it allows for this rivalry between the Vision and the Usos to continue into next week, which they have a street fight. And I think that's best for now. Give both these teams, all four of these people, something to do for the next few weeks up until Mania, or even eventually at Mania, because these tag team titles have been completely dead for the past few months, even with the fucking Usos having them. So I feel like this will get them on to the next week's Raw and the following week's Raw, and then maybe even on to the WrestleMania card, but we'll see. So overall, a good segment. People are disappointed about how the match ended. I thought it was a good ending. I thought it was reasonable, so I'll get a thumbs up from me. Next, we have the Becky Lynch promo, and she basically came out there and said that AJ abandoned everyone for 10 years, and she only left for 10 months, and she even said that her own daughter around the house acts like AJ, and then AJ came out, wanted to look for a little bit of a fight. Becky scampers off, and AJ challenged her to a match at Mania. Not too much from this, except for the fact that they pretty much confirmed the match at Mania, which everyone has expected. I am still enjoying this feud. It's run a long way, but I believe the culmination is going to be at Mania, so this was just confirmation of that. Now, the next match we had on the card was Javon Evans versus Grayson Waller. This match was really, really good. It was a really fast pace. Grayson Waller can straight up go, and everyone knows what Javon Evans is capable. To start the match, Javon Evans had a suicide dive and damn near landed on his head. It was kind of crazy. He kind of bent his body in a awkward position. But to end the match, Javon Evans has Grayson Waller on the top rope, hits a Hurricane Runner from the top rope, crazy, and then as soon as he gets up from that, goes and hits an OG Cutter, going 50 miles into the sky high. It was a good match, fun match. From where they go from here, I'm not too sure. I'm probably just gonna have Javon Evans in this loop with the New Day, and them trying to recruit him, and him just keep trying to fight, which kind of sucks because I want to see Javon Evans go into some bigger feuds, but for now, I think they're probably going to keep him in the lower to mid card, and they're showing a little bit of friction between Grayson Waller and Kofi Kingston, and Waller asking why Kofi's not helping him, and Kofi saying that he doesn't need any help. So overall, good match. Where they go from here, I'm not too sure, but fun match. And next we had Paul Heyman's promo, his segment on Seth Rollins. Now this was a little weird. Paul Heyman comes out, basically tells Seth Rollins to come on out and confront him, and then Seth Rollins comes out in his mask. Still don't get why this is still a goddamn thing. It's driving me up a fucking wall. Just come on out like normal Seth Rollins. But anyways, he comes out, he stands on the desk, Paul Heyman's up in the ring, and he comes out on the desk, and then police officers come. So the police officers begin to take Seth away because Paul Heyman said that he has now a restraining order that he snitches or whatever. So Paul Heyman is running his mouth talking about Seth's family, his wife, his daughter, and while the police are walking him out, he comes around down the entrance ramp and hits Paul. Now, I thought this was a little weird. This whole segment was a little odd. It didn't sit right with me. But the most interesting thing was after Seth Rollins hit Paul Heyman, he got arrested. After Seth got arrested, Paul was sitting in the corner kind of laughing and smiling like he had something up his sleeve. Now, this makes me believe that Paul has something up his sleeve, whether it be another superstar or a plan or a return of Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed, which he said they will be out for a while, so I'm not sure about that. Then again, can't trust anything these motherfuckers at WWE say. But that leaves a little bit of interest in what Paul has up his sleeve, or if he has anything up his sleeve, but we'll see. But overall, the segment was awkward, but it gave that cliffhanger of what Paul is going to do next. Next, we had a match between the Kabuki Warriors and Lyra Valkyria and Bayley. Now, this match, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good either. I mean, it was just average. The end came with Bayley hitting a Bayley to belly to Asuka onto the announcer's table. Her going for an elbow. She misses. Because Kairi Sane pulls her off. Lyra Valkyria does her little jumping drop kick through the ropes. Hits Kairi Sane, brings her in the ring, hits her with the Nightwing, and 1, 2, 3, they win. Now, which basically it set them up to be number one contenders. I believe they said it was going to be the Irresistible Forces versus Bayley and Lyra next week, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. This match was pretty much just a number one contenders match for me. Didn't really advance too many storylines. In the back, Asuka was being abusive towards Kairi. Io Sky comes into the picture and says Kairi needs to stand up for herself, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't deserve to be treated like that. So maybe they're just going to keep... I feel like they're just going to keep going on and on with this Kairi Sane and Asuka feud, and it's just never going to culminate like everyone wants it to culminate. But where they go from here, I believe they're just setting up as many teams... I'm hoping they just set up as many teams for this multi-woman tag match, hopefully at Mania. But overall, match, and didn't really get much from it. Now we had two iShow Speed segments. They said he was there earlier at the beginning of the show. And first we have iShow Speed coming into Penta's locker room and asking him to do the Penta walk. Funny little segment there. And then we had a funnier segment with iShow Speed and everyone's favorite Danhausen, who as soon as he popped up on the screen got a thunderous pop. He and cheers. Every week it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, deservedly so. And basically Danhausen asked him to split the profits of all Speed's social media, 180 million followers, something like that. And Speed tells him no. So Danhausen hits him with a curse. And now Speed is cursed. And funny little segment. Speed's like, what the heck? And then actually, if you've seen on Twitter, they ended up racing. And Danhausen teleported and beat Speed. Funny little segment. And he still didn't uncurse him. So funny little segment. But I hope Speed stays around. I mean, I would really love to see... People don't really like it. But I would really love to see Speed in the ring or have another segment like he did a couple years back with taking a bump from Braun Breaker. I'd really like to see Speed do something like that again, and it would just be hilarious, and it would definitely go viral. So both good segments. Now next we had Dirty Dom versus Penta. Now before the match even started, Dirty Dom's making his way out to the ring with Liv by his side during his entrance, and Stephanie Vaquer comes from behind and absolutely levels Liv Morgan. And these two women beat the ever-living shit out of each other. They tried to kill each other. Liv got the upper hand after Dominic pulled Stephanie off of her. She threw her into the big screen hard. I thought she was knocked out. I thought Stephanie was knocked out. They go into Gorilla. They're fighting through Gorilla. Liv takes Stephanie's head, starts banging it against the wall. They get thrown over, and then Stephanie Vaquer fucking double legs the hell out of Liv Morgan and drops her right on the hard floor. This is exactly what this rivalry needed. They had their few in-ring interactions, and they had their two vignettes talking about each other's past and how they grew up in the business. And then, boom, they hit him with this violence. This is what the people wanted to see. This is what everyone wanted to see. They wanted to see these two baddies going at it, hitting each other, beating the ever-living shit out of each other, trying to kill each other. And it hit, especially with Liv Morgan screaming like an out-of-control crackhead the whole entire time. I thought this was great. It's making me look forward to the WrestleMania match. Now, going forward, I hope maybe we get more of this, or maybe we possibly get them jawing back and forth with each other and then going more into violence. But this really did a great job for the feud. I am so happy with this. I'm impressed, and it came out of nowhere. Stephanie just from behind, boom, right in the middle of the entrance. I didn't expect it. I think most people love this whole entire thing. And then we get into the Penta versus Dirty Dom match. We've seen this match a million times already, I feel like. And so it's going normally. How normally go. They got good chemistry. They're both smooth in the ring. JD jumps on the apron, goes to distract Penta. Penta gets distracted, and then Finn comes out after Dom hits a 619, going for a frog splash, and takes care of JD, takes him out the picture, and the whole time Dom's looking down the ramp, getting distracted, and he goes for a frog splash and gets rolled up by Penta, and then Finn comes back and starts fighting Dom. Dom scampers off, and then he ends up beating the shit out of JD. So, match was didn't really do much. Everyone knew what was kind of going to happen. And then the beatdown of JD. I'm glad that they did this. At least they're going forward with this feud a little bit more. But I feel like everyone wants a little bit more explanation from Dom on the mic. I mean, even if they're going to boo the hell out of him, I'd feel like a little bit more explanation, or a little bit more explanation from Finn, or what his thoughts are and everything. But this is a good start. They're getting a little bit violent here, so good start. Maybe we can progress it in the next few weeks. But it's just absolutely amazing to me that every time Dom continues to turn heel as a heel, he gets booed. He goes from being a heel getting cheered, and then he does something horrible, and he gets booed again. It's just phenomenal work from him. People like him, but they don't like him. He gets booed in all the arenas. It's just phenomenal work by him, and great for Finn Balor too. This was I'll give this segment a thumbs up. It was pretty good. Match was meh. Segment, thumbs up. And then we get to the CM Punk and Roman Reigns segment now. This segment, for me, is levels below what they did 2-3 weeks ago. I feel like it started to lose some steam, especially when Roman called him old. Now, Punk comes to the ring saying that he is old, about his beard being a little gray, blah, 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 that he's proud to be old, essentially. And then Jay and Jimmy come to the ring. And Jey Uso, again, is crashing the hell out. He is so pissed at CM Punk for not apologizing. And CM Punk is just continuously nagging Jey Uso and trying to rage bait him, essentially. And it works. And So eventually Roman Reigns comes down to the ring, and they get into a little altercation, blah, blah, blah. Jay's crashing out, and eventually Jay goes at Punk, and they start hitting each other, and then as Jimmy comes to separate Jay and Punk, Roman comes out of nowhere, and Superman punches Punk. Now this is where it takes a turn. It was corny up until then. I believe it was corny up until then, and then Roman sold it. He absolutely sold this, in my opinion. It's like he reverted back to the old Tribal Chief where he's just wrecking everyone, doesn't give a rip, and just wants to destroy everyone and becoming that monster. Superman punches him, and then as he's about to leave the ring, Jey Uso is yelling at him to go get him. And Roman goes and gets him. He spears him. He starts beating the hell out of him, kicks him out the ring, starts bashing his head against the post, and then picks him up and power bombs him through the table, looking menacing. I believe this is exactly what this needed. I feel like this rivalry started to lose steam after the past few weeks of some, in my opinion, corny promos. But this saved it, as Roman was looking as menacing as ever, beating the ever-living shit out of Punk. And then as he's leaving the arena, Punk is getting up from the announcer's table laughing, saying he doesn't need any help and that Roman's the one that needs help. So overall, I feel like it was a slow start to the segment, and then it got better at the end when it got physical with Roman Reigns really being able to sell that he is back to this Tribal Chief. And another interesting thing is, how is Jay and Jimmy going to play into this? Because it seems like Jay was the one that called the hit on CM Punk for talking about the family. So I feel like we're getting closer and closer and closer every week to that full-on bloodline reunion. But I wonder how the chemistry and how the makeup of this bloodline is going to be compared to the past bloodline, especially with Jay being the one that technically called the shot. So I thought this segment was very interesting, and it got way better from when it started. So that is a thumbs up. And this was the end of this show. Overall, I thought the show, it wasn't too bad. It was a pretty good show. And the Boston crowd, they were all right. And one thing about you fuck-ass crowds is quit doing those goddamn fireflies during the matches. That shit pisses me off. I get some matches are bad, but just because every match is not an absolute fucking 10 out of 10 banger does not mean you guys need to start waving your phones like a bunch of fucking dumbasses. I just can't stand it. It's just absolutely disrespectful to the performers, and it just pisses me off. Back when I went to a show a couple months ago, they were doing it for every goddamn match, and it was just horrendous. So besides that, good crowd, good makeup. This show was pretty good. So I just want to say thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. I will see you all next time, and I will possibly be doing a UFC review here in the near future. I'll see y'all later.